Madam President, good morning, and good morning to my colleagues on this side of the aisle. Good morning to members opposite, persons in the gallery, those who are listening and viewing. Madam President, I rise to make a very brief statement as per the order paper. And I want, Madam President, to focus my very brief statement on water. First and foremost, Madam President, I want to apologize to the people of Nevis. I want to apologize, Madam President, for the periodic interruption of our water supply in various parts of Nevis over the last few months. And Madam President, it is due to numerous factors. Increase in consumption, reduction in rainfall. Madam President, it also was due to the fact that because of the drought, our various wells throughout the island of Nevis were not recharging as rapidly as they ought to have. And Madam President, our success have also created some challenges for us, because even late in July and early August, the tourism sector on the island of Nevis seemed to have been, Madam President, doing reasonably well. So I want to apologize to the people of Nevis for that interruption. Madam President, I've been told that somewhere on social media that someone said that there was no water in Nevis. And I found it strange, Madam President, that someone would say that there was no water on the island of Nevis. Madam President, in the month of January, the island of Nevis produced some 52,335,920 imperial gallons of water on the island of Nevis. Let me call that figure again. 52,335,920 imperial gallons of water on the island of Nevis. In the month of February, Madam President, the island of Nevis produced some 41,830,000 imperial gallons of water on the island of Nevis. In May, Madam President, the island of Nevis produced some 52,414,000 imperial gallons of water on the island of Nevis, Madam President. And just last month, July, the island of Nevis produced some 49,987,080 imperial gallons of water on the island of Nevis. But still, there is no water on Nevis. Madam President, the fact is that over the last few months, as indicated earlier, we face a challenge. Consumption have increased, so it created an imbalance in the system, Madam President. And as a result, we have had to do some water rationing. And you know, Madam President, I went and I checked my fellow Caribbean countries to see who else may have been engaged in water rationing. And Madam President, my good friends in Barbados had to do water rationing. Big Barbados had to do water rationing. My good neighbors across the Narrows had to do water rationing. You understand? My good friends in the Virgin Islands, both British and US, had to do water rationing. But still there is no water in Nevis. Madam President, I want to share with this honorable House with your permission, Madam President, and if you want to see the information, I would allow you to have a look at it before. From a high-ranking official at the Four Seasons Resort. With your permission, Madam President.
You may proceed, member.
Thank you. This, Madam President, was a note I received from a very high-ranking official at the Four Seasons Resort. Good day, Minister Brand. I just wanted to reach out to thank you for being there for us. I know I text you at odd times occasionally. I want you to remember that little statement, at odd times. I want you to remember that statement, madam, at odd times, occasionally. But I truly appreciate your partnership and speediness of help as our season is really grinding to a close. You won't likely hear from me regarding water too much, but know that we value your resourcefulness truly. That's it. Just a thank you. Be well and have a great week. Madam President, this note, and I want to dedicate this note, Madam President, to the manager, the operations manager, the entire staff of the Nevis Water Department for their hard work in some very difficult and turbulent time. This note, Madam President, and I can share it with anybody who wants to see it, comes from a high-ranking official at the Four Seasons Resort. You hear what he said, Madam President? At odd times. Madam President, and when he said odd times, he meant odd times, you know. 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and thing in the morning, midnight, crying out for help that he have a situation, and we, Madam President, the Water Department, was able to be as accommodating as we possibly can. And, Madam President, it wasn't easy, you know. But I want to say, Madam President, to that very high-ranking official at the Four Seasons, we appreciate your sentiments, and as I said, I want to apologize to the people of Nevis for the inconvenience. Madam President, I want to say to the people of Nevis that we have not sat idly by on this matter, on this issue of water. Just last month, we have had on island a geologist who would have conducted some mapping exercise throughout the length and breadth of Nevis. And he has, Madam President, identified a number of areas where we can pursue some drilling exercises. He have identified, Madam President, 3 areas in particular that we expect would generate some very high-yielding wells. And we are in the process, Madam President, of finishing a document so that we can have at least 3 drillers tender for the job to drill these wells, Madam President. Madam President, we have gone a bit further. We have had some conversation with desalination providers. Just last week, I met with a particular desalination company. And this is a company, Madam President, that has desalination in Trinidad, that has desalination in St. Martin, in Anguilla, and in St. Thomas. And what I like about the St. Thomas setup, Madam President, what I love about the St. Thomas setup is being managed and managed and being run, Madam President, by a Nevision. A young man, Madam President, yes. Oh, boy. Yes. A young man from right up in Stony Grove. And he, Madam President, we have been in conversation because I have to say to the people of Nevis that this is a proven and reliable technology for the island of Nevis. We know, Madam President, that the energy cost is high, but we are expecting that geothermal will come on stream very soon so that the cost. But here it is, Madam President. Here it is. A Nevision in St. Thomas managing the water resources, the desalination water resources in St. Thomas. You understand, Madam President? As the Premier rightly said, a young man from Stony Grove a young man I pitch marble with in Stony Grove, play cricket with, and he understands what this desalination is all about, Madam President. And we are moving in that direction. So, Madam President, when there are those saying to the world that there is no water on the island of Nevis, I've just given some numbers, Madam President.
And numbers don't lie.
I've just given some numbers. I have just said, Madam President, in this honorable house that a high-ranking official at the Four Seasons is saying thank you, Madam President. And Madam President, last night I journeyed over to St. Kitts to take in a little of the CPL game. And Madam President, there was two gentlemen from Nevis. They have spent a number of years overseas. I do not know their political persuasion. I know them personally, but I do not know their political persuasion. And the conversation, Madam President, was very encouraging and enlightening. One I know resides in the Virgin Islands, and one I know resides in the United States of America. Two divisions. And you know what they were talking about, Madam President? You know what they were talking about? They have said in that bus ride that Nevis is moving.
Big time.
Nevis is moving. And Madam President, they did not hold any water in their mouth to say that what they have seen, they came home for Culturama, and they have stayed on for CPL, and they have saying that what they have seen on the island of Nevis is very much encouraging. But yet, no water in Nevis. And the sky is falling down. And everything is going wrong. And nothing happened. But two divisions, enjoying a bus ride, going to watch cricket. I did not provoke the conversation. They started it. I introduced myself. They introduced them. And Madam President, I want to say to our people, you know, I'm going to pivot a little bit. And I hope I don't get too political, but I think that this is the right place to get political. Statement by ministers. Statement by, Madam President, if I'm going off course, stop me. If I'm going off course, stop me. From what I've learned, Madam President, from what I've learned, the author of that statement who indicated that there was no water in Nevis was one who I am told, because I don't know, was in January, in February, in March, in April, in May, in June, in July, and in August, was all over telling people that they are the best thing since sliced bread to manage the affairs of Nevis. And the people of Nevis told them, go sit down. The people of Nevis told them, go sit down. And here it is, Madam President, they came back again after August, in September, in October, in November, and in December, with the same message. And the people of Nevis said to them, go sit down. The point that I'm trying to get to, Madam President, is I want to say to all of these folks who claim that they love this country and they have the country's best interest at heart, that when they get behind their computers and their smartphones, speak well about the island of Nevis. Amen. Speak well about the island of Nevis. Forget about the politics. Amen. Forget about trying to take cheap political shots at whomever they want to take it at. When they're out there in the diaspora and have that platform, speak well of Nevis. Here it is, 2 divisions. And these are men who I know as a little boy who have been stalwart in this community, have spent years in the Virgin Islands and in the United States at home saying, boy, Nevis is moving. Here it is, Madam President, a high-ranking official is saying, thanks. But there are some. And I want to, Madam President, today is, what day today is? 24th?
Of August
Today is the 24th of August,
2023.
2023. And Madam President, we all know what is happening in the United States today, you know. You know what is happening in the United States? Former president have to take a mugshot. He's been indicted. And Madam President, you know what one of the many charges are this morning for that former president? False statement. False statement. Imagine in America, they are indicting a former president for false statement. Maybe the legal advisor need to put something like those kind of things for false statement. Strangers to the truth, untruth, Madam President. I want to say to our people, you don't have to support this great blue CCM machine. You can support whomever you wish. But I want to appeal to all of us. Let us speak well of our country, Madam President. We are celebrating our 40th anniversary of independence next month. And our motto is country above self. You understand, Madam President? Country above self. And I want to encourage all of us, regardless of which political party we may support, let us debate the ideas. Let us debate the merit of the government's policy, Madam President. Let us not get in the habit of trying to destroy our country for political expedience, Madam President. Madam President, I want to say to all of us that we recognize that we do have a challenge. And the good minister with responsibility for culture have already signaled that next year is a homecoming. The Premier of the country, Madam President, has said that geothermal will be on stream. And the common denominator, Madam President, in those two statements and those two events that will happen on the island of Nevis is water. We must, Madam President, continue to do our very best to ensure that the island of Nevis not only has enough potable water for when all of these folks return home next year, and for when the Premier said to me that the drill is on the island to do the geothermal wells, we have enough water. And we will ensure, Madam President, that that is accomplished. Madam President, I want to pivot very quickly to a few road projects that is occurring here on the island of Nevis. One of our major road projects is the bypass road rehabilitation project. And I want to appeal to motorists, Madam President, that yes, there will be some disruption. There will be some diversion and there will be some inconvenience in their travel. The contractors has said to me that this project will last 100 days. And I want the people of Nevis to keep track of this timeline. Let us set our timeline, Madam President, from next Monday. Monday is what, the 28th. I want the whole of Nevis to track this project. They have said 100 days. And I want Nevis, working days, leave out Saturdays and Sundays, even though that they may work on those 2 days, Madam President. Track the project for 100 days. And we will see, Madam President, if we can keep that timeline. But I want to say to our people that yes, there will be some disruption and interruption. There will be some inconvenience. And I want to say to our people to please obey the flagmen and flagwomen on that project. We don't want to have any injuries, so I'm appealing to the general public. Madam President, we are also in the Cotton Ground area doing a road that has been dubbed the Banjo Road. and I see the smile on the face of the representative from St. Thomas's, and the candidate also smiling, Madam President. Because I believe, Madam President, that we understand that for development on the island of Nevis, it must occur throughout the length and breadth of the island. That is our position, and that is what we will continue to do. I believe that that is a project that has been long in coming, and I'm indeed happy, Madam President, that we are now on the ground bringing some relief to those folks in the Cotton Ground area. Madam President, I will stop there, and I want to thank you, Madam President, for giving me the opportunity to make those brief statements as per the order paper. Thank you, and may it please you, Madam President.